Live from the Sky News Weather Centre, this is the 10-minute briefing.
Good afternoon and welcome to our 10-minute briefing. I'm Janie Seal, joined by meteorologist Tristan Myers. A big day of storms, quite severe as well, and quite a large area.
Yeah, big area of thunderstorms across New South Wales and even into southern Queensland right now. So we'll talk about that. Also going to be crossing in a moment to the Bureau of Meteorology's Extreme Weather Desk. We're going to be talking to Jonathan Howe about these storms and also what's coming for you in the southwest. Much needed rain for this one coastal plain.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look at some of the current temperatures because we've been seeing warmer than average temperatures for quite some time, haven't we, Tristan?
Yes.
At the moment, we have Sydney on just under 22 degrees. A little bit on the chilly side, though, as we head to Tasmania. Hobart just 14.7.
Yeah, Adelaide on 30 degrees right now. It does not feel like mid-autumn for them, that is for sure. Let's take a look at these storm warnings. There's a detailed severe storm warning in effect for parts of the Newcastle City and also the Cessnock-Maitland areas. It looks like these storms are moving towards the northeast and could hit Newcastle City, Raymond Terrace, and Tokau by about 5:45 p.m., before which Maitland and Swansea forecast to be hit by about 5:15 p.m. local time. It's part of a wider storm outbreak that's happening right now across New South Wales and southern Queensland. Newcastle, Orange, Scone, Mudgee, and Dubbo and Burke all included in that warning area. And in Queensland, it's the Cunnamulla region in the Miranor and Warrego area. So a big area of storms right now happening.
Now, there's slow-moving storms, aren't there? So we have the potential for flash flooding.
Yeah.
We've also seen hail as well, which we'll have a look at in a moment. But should we head to the Bureau of Meteorology?
Yes, we should.
Yes. All right. Well, Jonathan Howe is with us now. Hello there, Jonathan. A big day for storms.
Absolutely. Big storm day. We've been talking it up for such a long time now. I want to ask you, again, tomorrow we're experiencing storms. I think the day after that as well. What areas in particular are going to be hit by those severe storms tomorrow, because it seems like such a broad area to consider, stretching from southeast Queensland, southern Queensland area, right down into central and eastern New South Wales?
Yeah, good afternoon. So yeah, as you mentioned, very big area of storms today, right through eastern and northern parts of New South Wales, and even into southern and kind of southeastern parts of Queensland. All of this is a result of a surface trough, and also these thunderstorms are being aided by an upper trough as well. And this upper trough is quite slow moving. So for tomorrow, we are expecting a pretty similar area of storms to today, slightly shifted towards the east. So for tomorrow's thunderstorms, we are expecting them to be anywhere between kind of Sydney, further north up into inland from Bundaberg, and then into the west to Longreach, then down to kind of Cobar, New South Wales. So a very big area, but we're particularly looking at places around the northern tablelands of New South Wales, also around the northern and central slopes and plains, and into the Darling Downs and Warrego and Maranoa parts of Queensland, where conditions won't ever change too much from today. So we could see damaging winds, heavy rainfall, large hailstones as well. So certainly keep an eye out for warnings, and there are warnings out today, as you did mention.
We haven't seen a lot of widespread severe storms in a while, but what we have seen, Jonathan, is an extended summer, particularly for the south, haven't we? Is it safe to say that this heat spell is unprecedented for April?
Yeah, so another warm spell for southern Australia today. Adelaide got to 31 today, and 36 at Juneau. So it's it is quite unusual for this time of year, and we are going to see this heat stick around for another 5 to 7 days. And from tomorrow, we'll see it enter into Western Victoria and also into Western New South Wales as well. And so we could see places like Melbourne get well above the April average. This is quite unusual for this time of year, but it's not quite unprecedented in that sense. So just for an example, for Melbourne on Monday, going for a top of 28 degrees, but we have to go back to 2010, and we did see a late April temperature of 31 degrees. So it has been a while since we've seen these temperatures, and particularly over such a long period of time. But certainly not unprecedented. But yeah, it looks like this is going to stick around for a little bit longer.
And for the southwest, we're keeping a close eye on these cold fronts that are coming through this weekend. When's the last time we've had a front this strong for the southwest? It's been very dry there, and for them, it's been feeling like summer for quite some time. I know yesterday they had a cold front coming through, still some onshore winds through there, but the ones on Saturday and Sunday do look pretty powerful.
Yeah, so late April is the kind of time where we start to see these cold fronts impact southwestern WA. And as you mentioned, there are a couple of cold fronts on the way this weekend. So there's one on Saturday and another stronger one coming through later on Sunday. Here at the Bureau, we used a couple of different measures to see how strong these cold fronts are. And one of the ways you look at this is looking at the pressure gradient difference. So that's how strong these cold fronts are, particularly the difference between Geraldton and Albany. And so the higher the pressure gradient, we say the stronger the cold front. For the one coming through on Sunday, the stronger one, looking at a pressure gradient of about 10 hectopascals, which does indicate a moderate, it's kind of a strong end of moderate. And the last time we saw something really strong was actually back in December. There was quite an unseasonal cold front a week before Christmas, but we did see some other stronger ones through September and October. That's generally more common time. So we could see some damaging winds and also some thunderstorms as well, impacting southwest WA, and warnings are likely with these cold fronts over the weekend.
Jonathan, thanks very much for your time on the 10-minute briefing. Yeah, so strongest front since at least December set to the southwest this weekend. You did have some pretty wet conditions in January, and there was a strong cold front in December, like Jonathan pointed out there. But it has been several months now since you've seen something like this.
Well, I'll tell you what, it feels like we're still in severe weather season, doesn't it?
I hate the bushfires and also the fact that we've had all these widespread storms. You know, all these are related to each other. When you get heat, you get more energy across Australia. More energy leads to more thunderstorm potential, and it also, dries out the vegetation and makes it more prone to bushfires.
And we could have even an East Coast low coming up, which is common for this time of year.
It is. April to June is sort of the peak of the East Coast low season. Look, there's so much model variability between this. I don't want to call it. It's hard to predict an East Coast low 12 hours out, much less a week out. But it's something to look out for. Across the East Coast next week, Wednesday, Thursday, we're looking at a deepening coastal trough. And how that plays out will largely determine whether or not we get a low forming offshore.
Okay, well, stick around. We'll be back in a minute and we'll discuss what's happening over in Oklahoma with those wildfires and also the forecast for you tomorrow.